मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम। लोचन मन में जगे न हो तो, लोचन मन में जगे न हो तो, जुगल चरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम, ले लो राम, मुझे अपनी शरण में ले लो राम. Hi, good day all. So, we are continuing the conversation from yesterday, and this conversation is entitled the Dark Occult Programming, basically the programming of fear versus the programming of love, right? The Dark Occult Programming, the government, mainstream media, and so on, which is the Dark Occult Programming using fear. And I will utilize my video that I posted yesterday as an example to demonstrate how people are manipulated, right? How people are generally manipulated through the projection of fear by the dark occult. But before that, so people are wondering, what do I do with my free time every day? Well, I practice my singing. Because I don't think, do you think you would have ever seen me coming online here and singing bhajans on YouTube? Well, right, neither me, neither do I, right? So in my free time, I practice my singing. For people who are wondering, what do I do with all my free time? That is what I do, right? I practice my singing. It's not exactly an easy spiritual assignment that I've been assigned. It's not exactly an easy spiritual assignment that I've been assigned. The task to puppeteer the people who have been puppeteering you all. The task to puppeteer the people who have been puppeteering you all for all your lives, right? It's not easy. The simplest of tasks, and it's not the nicest of ones either. It's not necessarily the easiest of tasks, and it's certainly not the nicest, right? So to understand this video, you'll have to watch the previous video, because in that video I would have said something regarding a 7.4 earthquake, which if any average person see that video and it comes across as though it's a fear tactic, right? It's scaring people. You just think about a 7.4 earthquake hitting Trinidad and Tobago. That's massive destruction. That's probably a tsunami. That's complete devastation, right? So that projection of fear is exactly what is done on a daily, right? On a daily basis by mainstream media. When you look at news and they consistently, every day without fail, right? All you see are murders on the news. All you see, remember when COVID was here, all you would see every day as a ritual, like how I am posting here every day as a ritual, right? Every day as a ritual, programming of fear, right? They would come and post 1 COVID death, 2 COVID deaths, 10 COVID deaths, 500 and something COVID cases, right, as a ritual. And this has to do with it's an insane programming, right? It's a deep-rooted, insane programming, right? Now, what I am teaching here is teaching people how to recognize manipulation, so that the next time, well, if you all were following my videos, you would know now how, we follow each other in real life. We following each other in real life, right? we would both understand how manipulation through romantic love works, because you would have manipulated me at one point in time through romantic love, and I would have manipulated somebody at another time through romantic love. So we both know how the manipulation of romantic love goes, right? So the next time you come across a little fuckboy or a little fuckgirl who want to play with you, you know exactly how to deal with it, right? So in this video, I'm teaching the art of manipulation, so you will recognize it when you see it happening via the news, when you see mainstream news, when you see the government using the tactic of fear, using the tactic of programming to program bullshit into your mind. You will understand how it works, right? You will understand how it works. There is an art to this thing, and that's probably why I don't really talk to anybody anymore, right? Because I actually in a space right now where I am quite excellent just here, right? And doing these videos, because I can recognize bullshit from afar, right? So I don't need nobody near to me really, other than who is currently is, right? So this video is to teach you to recognize, if you don't already know, if you are so deeply embedded in the system that you can't recognize when the mainstream media is manipulating you, right? This is not to say to don't acknowledge reality and what is happening in the 3D. By all means, you should do that. Acknowledge reality, but also acknowledge your role in maintaining that system through not aligning with natural law, right? That's the whole point. Not only because that is what gets you depressed. The depression comes from, or the anxiety comes from you looking at the news, seeing all this madness going on, knowing that, hey, it comes from a deep, probably an insecurity within oneself, that, hey, I am not doing anything to contribute to solving this, and it's a helpless feeling, right? But you can't help, is the thing, right? You can't help, right? And the solution is to align yourself with spiritual law, and therein will lie your focus, your attention, right? Like I was saying, once you put your attention on natural law, it becomes a focus point for you, right? It becomes a focus point for you, and it takes away from the undeserving attention that you give to the mainstream media, the undeserving attention that you give to the government, right? Knowing that, hey, I am withdrawing my support from these organizations, right? Knowing that, hey, I am withdrawing my support from these organizations. And whenever I withdraw my energy from an entity, right? Know this, whenever you withdraw your energy from an entity, that entity falls, right? That entity falls, right? Or it begins to crumble. That entity begins to disintegrate once you withdraw your energy, focused attention from it, right? So that is what this video is about, the difference between programming of love, programming of fear, and the expression of love. The difference between the programming of fear into your consciousness and the expression, the inward and outward expression of love, agape love, right? Highest form of love, right? This is what this video is about, because the highest, there are just two vibrations. There are two vibrations that exist in the world, right? There are two vibrations that exist in the world: the vibration of fear and the vibration of love, right? And daily, day in, day out, we choose what vibration we wish to project, right? We can choose what vibration we wish to project into the world. Right? So this is for people who get carried away by whatever is taking place on the news and stuff, who is carried away or who's anxious right? It is a form of programming, fear projection, which is what I had done in my previous video at the beginning when I talk about a 7.4, right? It is a fear programming tactic that is used by government, mainstream media, and so on, and the ability to recognize this as a form of manipulation is what I am trying to bring across to you. The ability to recognize the projection of fear onto you, right? It is like what was happening with the Gematrinator coding when I was doing the coding on the Gematrinator site, and I was saying that my name is 11085 in the cipher closest to Natia and Fibonacci, and the code I received was outlast the code and live or something like that, right? Which equated to 1085, which was the same as my name, right? So it is the projection of fear. So when I saw that now, that got me into that rile up anxiety in me at that point, right? Until I realized that, hey, the system is real shit, because I actually, once you take your attention away from that, once I took my attention away from that, I felt better, right? I felt better, right? Because it's always it came to be the codes that was being downloaded into my head from God alone knows where, right? From God alone knows where. It was codes that were programming codes that they were sending to me, right? And it was fear tactics. It was fear tactic coding, right? And knowing that someone already have anxiety, knowing that someone already, once they know that, hey, you suffer from anxiety, you suffer from depression, this is something that the dark occult actually feeds upon, right? It feeds upon the fact that people have anxieties, depression, and so on. This is the point of this video, right? So it connects with my last video. So to teach people how to spot and to recognize the manipulation when it is happening by the organizations who do it to you on a day-to-day basis, right? To recognize manipulation when it is being done by either religious leaders, either the government, either the mainstream news, either whatever it is, right? To spot manipulation when you see it happening, right? Whether it's being in relationships and friendships and whatever it be, right? So this is a simple message, is to choose whether you want to live in the reality of fear, or the illusion of fear, or the reality of love, right? To choose whether you wish to live in the illusion of fear or the reality of love, right? Because love is the only power that there is truly at the highest vibration. Love is the only power that exists. So natural law alignment, agape love, it is moving from fear-based reality or fear-based illusion, moving into reality-based love, right? Shifting your consciousness. So it's a shift of consciousness that needs to take place, and this can only take place when you recognize the tactics that are being used on you on a day-to-day basis that invoke this sense of fear, dread, anxiety, right? Being anxious about the future, about, whatever it is. Yeah. So, yeah, short message.